can keep traveling as much as you want. I don't require sleep or food in order to survive. It's always fascinating watching you create. Self-diagnostic complete. I'm happy to report I won't be falling apart on you anytime soon.
Only thing better than getting pissed is picking a fight. Am I right?
My onboard functions are operating at full capacity. Don't worry, my ocular sensors are well suited for travel at night. It's a pleasure to serve with you, ma'am. I must apologize for the odd noises I'm currently emitting, a consequence of being mechanical in nature. You lead the way, and I'll follow, man.
Hey, Valentine.
Time to hit the road?
Let's head out.
Well, all right. Hey, let me ask you something.
Sure. Ask away.
It's just, with everything that's happened with you and your family, it's a whole hell of a lot to process. I wanted to make sure you're holding up all right.
I don't know, Nick. My family's in tatters. I've been dropped into this place where everything's trying to kill me. You tell me.
Well, I'd expect you to feel lost, scared, and mad as hell. I sure did. Took me a long damn time to get a feel for this place. Thank goodness I found Diamond City. It's got its flaws, sure, but it beats the hell out of anywhere else in the Commonwealth. Of course, when I took up there back when, people were just as scared of the Institute as they are now. Maybe more. The massacre of the CPG was still pretty fresh in people's minds at that point, and folks were still losing sleep over the broken mask. Plenty of people assumed I was just a saboteur, moving in to melt down the reactor or poison the drinking water. But at the time, they couldn't exactly turn me away.
Why would you want to live among bigots like that?
Now, I couldn't really blame them, given the circumstances. But folks sure started turning the other cheek when I showed up with the mayor's daughter. Gal of about 15. Pride and joy of the mayor back then. Man by the name of Henry Roberts. The young Miss Roberts decided she'd run off with some caravan hand she'd, known for an evening. Turns out the guy was part of a gang of kidnappers. I didn't even know who I was rescuing. I took her home and the mayor dubbed me a hero. Offered me a place in town. Lots of folks protested, said I was a spy, but he wouldn't have it. Taking up in the city was tricky at first, but I never tried to hide what I was, and people seemed to warm to that.
You took down 4 guys by yourself?
Well, I didn't have to. Back then, synths were even more of an unknown quantity than they are today. I told them I was rigged to explode and started going beep, beep, beep. Hardest part of that rescue was keeping from laughing as they climbed over each other to get away.
You're not a spy, right? Testing, testing. Hello, Institute, can you hear me? Hello.
Hell if I know. If I am, the Institute's plan to gather intel on all the runaways of the Commonwealth has been going off without a hitch.
Was it hard settling in?
Well, they sure didn't make it easy. I started off doing the jobs no one else wanted. I got more banged up being Diamond City's handyman than I ever did living out in the ruins. But I guess folks never forgot I rescued the mayor's daughter, so they started coming to me when people went missing. Wife runs off with a new paramour and takes the rent money with her. Talk to the synth. An upset father decides moving him. After a while, the jobs got so backed up, they didn't even ask me to do the handyman stuff anymore. Hell, I was so happy to do it, it was months before I started charging anyone. I never stopped being Nick the synth, but it was Nick the detective folks came to see. It was about then that things finally started feeling normal. It took me a long time to realize that home is where you make it. And with some time and effort, this place can be home for you, too. That's a long story, but I hope it helps. Want to get moving? I think we ought to talk.
Is something the matter? You sound upset.
What? Oh, no. We've just been traveling a while now, and I figure there hasn't exactly been equitable distribution of information. I've gotten a decent glimpse into your dirty laundry, but you still don't really know a whole heck of a lot about me. I figured I'd offer to balance the board. So,
what's with the outfit?
After I started the agency, it just seemed like the sort of thing a detective ought to wear. I got some old memories, pre-war. Faded to all heck of guys dressed like this, doing what I do. Putting on the hat and trench coat, I figured it'd let folks know I was serious about the whole thing. Clothes make the man and all that. Guess I felt they made me the man I wanted to be.
So, who are you, Nick?
That's a question I've been trying to figure out myself for a long damn time. I know I'm a synth, authentic Institute handiwork, but I'm still mechanical, not bioengineered like the fancy synths giving everyone the willies these days. I get tune-ups now instead of checkups. But my memories, my personality, they're all lifted from some cop who volunteered for an experiment back before the war. They scanned his brain and copied it onto the hardware that runs between my ears. Don't know why they chose to make a robot based on some pre-war cop instead of a math genius or a bioengineer. Hey, maybe that's why the Institute tossed me in the garbage instead of turning me into one of their people snatchers. Anybody still in there?
Wait, what? You're a robot? What else have you been keeping from me?
Ha! Well, I'm not sure if anyone told you, but there's been a war. Nothing big. I think we'll bounce back just fine.
That's terrible. They really just threw you away?
Sure did. It was quite the rude awakening. I remember waking up one day in a garbage heap, a body in tatters and a head full of memories belonging to a man who'd been dead for 200 years. Suffice to say, it was a confusing couple of weeks. Folks didn't really know much about synths back then, so when I finally ran into people, they mostly treated me with caution rather than hostility. But the kids, they weren't afraid. I think his name was Jim. The first person to actually speak to me after I got the boot from the Institute. My first human contact in this world. Grilled me for an hour. Once they'd seen I wasn't going to hurt anyone, the other folks in the neighborhood came out to ogle the mechanical man. It eventually turned into a pretty swell soiree. A local mechanic even gave me a once-over, free of charge. Those people, they treated me like a human being. I've been trying to return the favor ever since. It's a surprisingly rare trait out here sometimes. It's something I've noticed you got a fondness for. Part of the reason I've stuck around this long.
If you're good to people, they'll be good back. That's something I've always believed.
Couldn't agree more. Well, I expect you're about as bored as can be listening to me rattle my skeletons. We should probably head out.
Yeah?
Hope you enjoyed that song by Warren Smith, because I can't take it back.
Keep moving. We're awful vulnerable.
So, there are some rumors out there in the Commonwealth that I have heard. You know the one about the railroad? A group that actually helps? They help synths who want to escape the Institute? Yeah? Well, maybe it's not just a rumor. I mean, it is, as far as I know, of course. I mean, they may actually be out there.
It sounds kind of crazy, if you ask me. And if it were real, it'd be super dangerous, I bet.
I think it's way safer to just sit here and play.
Why do these objects
I don't think we're alone.
moving?
Think you're tough? Come on! I need some goddamn fire support! Let's do this, little girl!
Hey, Scaver. Let's trade.
I've got a few minutes to browse.
I am. Because Louis Jordan rules. You're listening to Diamond City Radio, if you're listening at all. This next song, it's 60-Minute Man, and whoa boy, I just okay, never mind.
Damn it! Come in! I know you're listening on the other end. Where is she? Where is my daughter?
Kenji, please.
I hope you don't mind. We let ourselves in.
Nick, thank God. You need to get to work right away. She could be hurt. She could be...
Whoa, slow down. Kenji, was it? Why did you go over the details with me and my partner here?
You have to get to work right away, Detective.
We're here to help. Tell us what happened.
It's all thanks to this damn radio.
Our daughter Kasumi likes to fix things. The radio was her latest project.
Until she made contact with some kidnapper who lured her away from us.
Or maybe she left on her own. She's not a child anymore. Our daughter is 19. She knows how to survive, and she's capable. I think maybe she left because she wanted her own life.
No, she would have told us where she was going. She would have said something. I know my daughter is in danger. I can feel it. Find her, please.
Do you have any idea?
We know she took one of the boats, but that's all.
We'll find her.
Thank you.
Don't worry.
Project log, kitchen mixer. The circuits are still good, but all the mechanical parts are rusted through. Maybe I can...
All right, everyone. I'll be back in a few days. Was there anything else we needed from the city?
Wait, you're going now? No!
It is better if I go alone, Kasumi. Do not worry. I have your list.
You don't know what half that list is, Dad. I can help you. Really, I'll be...
I said no. I'm sorry. You're safe here, okay? Just stay put for me.
Okay.
I know you're disappointed, but I won't be long. I love you.
I love you too, Dad. Hello? Testing? Project log. Holotape player. Managed to strip out the parts from this thing and make something that's easier to move around. Granddad always said you need to make a record when you start something. You know. Project log, Radiation King Television. Mom says these things actually used to broadcast pictures and sounds back before the war. She also mentioned... Project log, lamp. Yep, it's a lamp. Filament plus power equals light. I swear, sometimes I think my parents break these things just to keep me busy. Project log, radio. Correction, working radio. Finally get some news outside this house. My handle is going to be... let's go with... Ohm's Law. That should confuse the creeps. And if someone actually gets the reference, then we'll at least have circuitry in common. Project log? Myself. I never really thought about who or what I am, but... God. Where do I start? The radio. I was right about the range. I managed to get a signal, a strong signal, from up north. There's a group of people up there. They say they're all synths. Synthetic people. Made by the Institute. They're trying to build a place for their kind, where they can be themselves and be accepted for what they are alongside human beings. It sounds wonderful, but then they started asking about me, and some questions came up. Questions I don't have answers to. I mean, I've always felt off, like I'm not really supposed to be here, but then there are things in my childhood I can't remember, and I've been having strange dreams. I'm going to go. To meet these synths, I have to know the truth about myself. They've told me to sail up north to a town called Far Harbor. I can make my way to them from there.
So, there are some rumors out there in the Commonwealth that I have heard. You know the one about the railroad? A group that actually helps? They help synths who want to escape the Institute? Yeah? Well, maybe it's not just a rumor. I mean, it is as far as I know, of course, but, I mean, they may actually be out there.
It sounds kind of crazy, if you ask me. And if it were real, It'd be super dangerous, I bet.
I think it's way safer to just sit here and play music.
Why do these objects keep moving?
Because I move them. And then I forget. Here's music. Here's, it. Into each life, some rain must fall.
Have you finished your investigation? Did you find anything?
I need to ask you an important question. Are you sure your daughter's human?
What kind of question is that? Why are you asking?
Your daughter made contact with a group of synths. She thinks she's one of them.
What? That's crazy.
She's not a synth. She's our daughter. We raised her. I gave birth to her. She's flesh and blood, not a synthetic.
It doesn't matter if your daughter is a synth, Mrs. Nakano. She's still a person who needs help.
But my daughter isn't a synth.
This is what I was afraid of. Someone twisting my daughter's mind. Did you find where Kasumi went, Detective?
I think Kasumi took off somewhere up north. Do you know what's up there?
Where specifically? I've been up the coast, almost to where the waters start to freeze, but that's a lot of miles.
I think I know where Kasumi went. A place called Far Harbor?
She went that far up north? God, that explains why she took the boat. You have to go after her. Please, take my other ship on the dock outside. My father's design. It has a guidance system, and it is built for distance.
A magic boat ride? Will there be sea monsters?
While I know the seas, I know you haven't asked for payment, and we can't offer much, but here, please take it. I insist. For expenses, if nothing else.
I know my partner here can be a little glib, but we won't rest until we get to the bottom of this. You two have my word.
Fine, Kasumi. Please.
My databanks are continuing to accumulate vast amounts of data regarding the Commonwealth.
I suppose I was a little jealous of folks who could craft something other than a paragraph.
Do I look like I want to chit-chat?
Lost track of how many ballistas I got.
trust you're enjoying my company. You and I make quite an effective team.
I wouldn't be here, not for your son.
Sean?
Hello, Mother. Tell me, what would you do when someone has stolen from you?
I try and talk it out. See if things can be resolved peacefully.
An admirable goal. And yet we find ourselves in a situation where something more significant must be done. The group that calls themselves the Railroad have acquired several synths from the Institute. Synths that had gone missing in recent months. And they no doubt mean to free these synths, in their delusion that synths are somehow sentient beings. You've been in contact with the Railroad, so you're aware of their misguided beliefs.
They mean well. They're only doing what they think is right.
You dealt with Libertalia. That's the result of their selfish, short-sighted plan. Usually they are a minor nuisance, but lately they have become more emboldened. I'm afraid we've reached the point where a response is necessary. We have learned the current location of these synths, and need to reacquire them before the Railroad can hide them.
Where are the synths located?
A small settlement at the old Bunker Hill Monument. But it's important that we act on this soon, before the Railroad has any indication we've tracked them. We also don't want the Brotherhood of Steel getting wind of the presence of the synths. That would only complicate matters.
Is it just me, or will I have backup?
Of course, sir. We'll be waiting for you outside Bunker Hill. You'll have support should you need it. But we want to keep this small.
Music that we usually play. If you hadn't heard, I mean, I guess most people know this, but maybe someone didn't. That
Son?
Green Tech
I trust you'll resolve the situation at Bunker Hill quickly and quietly.
Gunners! Gunners, that's it. That was like their base, sort of. They're pretty much all dead. Those guys were tough, so, I mean, I guess whoever killed them had to be even tougher, right? And there's, well, I don't even know if this is true or not, but there's this rumor that maybe the Institute was involved. But that's just what I heard. I don't know if that's true or not. It's probably not, right? Segue. Back to the music, I guess. song that makes no sense anymore. But it's nice.
Don't.
I wonder how long my systems will endure these rugged conditions.
If you wanted to make me a second printing press, that's what that is. Most folks are just looking for a hand. All you gotta do is offer. Nothing stays hidden forever. At least, not if I have my say.
Ease up, Alan. Visitors.
Mainlanders ain't nothing but trouble.
Put the damn gun down.
Hey there.
Are you lost? This is Far Harbor. We don't get many visitors around here.
We don't need no freeloaders or more help, Mainlander. So you can get back in your boat and leave.
Alan, this isn't your dock. It belongs to the whole town. And that means strangers are welcome. Sorry, you've caught us during a difficult time. But Alan's got a point. Not all visitors have good intentions. So, what's your business here?
A young woman from the Commonwealth named Kasumi may have passed through here. Her family hired me to find her.
Some sort of detective, huh? Well, she came through here all right.
At least we know she made it this far.
Damn it. Mariners ain't coming.
Something's coming through the fog!
You, help us defend the town, and I'll answer any questions you have. Take a post at the top of the wall, near the main gate. The hull never lets us down. Now follow me! Be careful on the hull, stranger. Don't fall off. If you do, we might not be able to rescue you in time.
Man the hull! Something's out there!
You sure you saw something?
This ain't a drill!
The hell?
Eyes peeled, everyone!
Open the gate! I've got wounded out here!
There's no time. Look to the fog. They're coming.
Gulpers! Oh, God! Defend yourselves!
Ready all! Fire at will! Eyes on the... Something's coming.
Anglers!
Ah!
And now you see what we're up against. The fog and the creatures it spits out have taken the whole island from my people. But for your help when we needed it, you deserve this.
What's the fog?
Where to begin? The fog's radioactive, right? But there are pockets of it, the deep fog, that are hard fallout. And as deadly as that is, that's only part of the problem. Things live in the fog, thrive. You think what attacked the harbor's bad? Oh, there's far worse further inland.
If you managed to survive despite all that, you must be tough.
Ornery, more like.
I'm done cowering behind your damn hull, Avery. Time you let me deal with the real problem. With the right people and my guns, I can end those Children of Adam cultists for good.
The fog's been here forever. The children didn't make it.
Before the Rat Eaters came, the fog was under control. They come, and it all goes wrong. It's time we do something.
No need to burden a stranger with all this nonsense.
What's the deal with the Children of Adam?
They're religious folk. Worship the power of Adam. Which is radiation, I guess. If you want details, you'd have to find and ask them. We used to have a peace with them until a certain hothead menace named Alan Lee...
Now that's enough. That preacher came into the harbor saying that it was Adam's will that we lost our land. That it was Adam's goddamn will that we lost so many friends and family. And that the Atom would wipe this whole place clean of us.
If it were up to me, you'd hang for what you did to that preacher, Alan.
What did he do to the preacher?
Alan pulled a gun on him. He claims the preacher reached for his. We don't have police, or really any law, just custom and popular sentiment. And after everything the preacher said, it was abundantly clear doing anything to Alan would have made matters worse.
Have the children made the fog worse?
Absolutely not. There's not one bit of evidence.
Geiger counters don't lie, Avery. The fog's gotten more lethal year over year. And now the fog's covering the whole island. But only after the children came.
You know as well as I do that's happened before. Sure, people have theories the children are involved, but no one, and I mean no one, has proof.
Can we get back to business?
Sorry for all that. You're here for Kasumi, right? She headed inland to the Synth Refuge, Acadia. Getting there will be dangerous. You'll need a guide. Old Longfellow. No one knows the fog like him. But, word of warning, he's a bit of an acquired taste.
What can you tell me about Acadia?
Ask Longfellow. He's the only one that's been there.
What's old Longfellow's story?
He's the best hunter on the island. Fearless. Some say crazy. If someone needs to get to Acadia, he's the only one that'll do it. But people around here are known for being stubborn, willful, and other, less flattering things. But Longfellow's got a reputation even among us. Take your time.
Thanks for the info.
Best place to look for Longfellow's at the bar. The last plank. And, please, lend a hand around town if you're able. Even if it's slapped away. People like the Mariner and Cassie and others need help. And let me say something you might not hear again. Thank you.
Don't let the island catch you off guard.
front, dock and back. The bait shop.
Protect your loved ones with my fine hand cannons.
The hull needs mending. You know, it just don't build itself. I need proper wood, steel, nails, the like.
Nobody asked you to cobble together that stupid wall. You want yourself commodities? You know how to get them. Cats, building
That stupid wall is the only
Guns,
thing
ammo,
that keeps you
souvenirs.
stowaways alive.
Get 'em while they're in stock.
That and the
Fresh ship-
mainlander.
Mariner.
The hull took a
What kept
battering.
us safe was Harborman and
Sure.
the firepower
But she
I
wouldn't be
sold.
standing at all if it weren't for you. They call me the Mariner, shipwright, handyman, and the only one keeping the harbor afloat. Well, beside Captain Avery.
Pleasure to meet you.
Likewise. I hope the island doesn't kill you quick. Or slow, for that matter. I don't suppose you'd be willing to lend a hand. In order to do proper repairs, I need tools. Specialized tools. And they won't be easy to come by. 450 caps if you can, though. Sure. I have all the time in the world. You ain't big on conversation, are you? You one of those narcoleptics?
You've kept the walls together this long. Why do you need...
I want to build the hull up, proper, and keep those blasted crap.
Sign me up. I'll help.
Eagles Cove Tannery.
Talk with Alan. I don't have time for you.
We'll secure the area.
If you need a room, see Mitch.
We're trying to have a conversation here.
Captain Avery said you can get me to Acadia?
Say there was a scuffle out there. You get your hands, I'm done leading people. Last fella couldn't keep up.
I'm not some no-name mainlander. I'm tough enough.
Sling a bit of lead on the hull, and now you think you're ready to... Things you'll see inland make that look.
Really? Do I look like your average mainlander?
Truth be told, no. This goes against my better judgment. I can get you to Acadia, but you've got to listen to me. Go where I say, when I... Still won't be easy. You stock up on your necessities, Rad, X, and the like. And then the real work can begin.
Let's go, Longfellow.
Follow me, then. Let's head out of town. Acadia is above the fog mountain. You might
Only
want to
Alan's got
Alan?
the backbone to stand up to the
The
children.
mainlander. Great. Fire your gun a few times and you think you're some sort of hero?
Hey, buddy. I was just trying to help.
Charity makes you weak. Makes you need it more and more. Until you're starving from the... What happens next time when you ain't here, huh? Or the next? Either us Harbormen survive on our own terms. So if you're here to buy some ordnance, do your business. Otherwise, take the first boat out of here.
Show me what you got.
Don't try anything. Guns, guns, and more guns.
You need it? Bait shop's got it.
We need to move through the main drag. Old Mountain Trail is where we're going. The fog ain't like nothing you've seen.
around.
Mainland, get out of here. Radaway is all you need. Tracks, fresh ones. Trappers ahead. When the bullets start flying, find cover. Keep your head down if you want to live. scrap. Figured I'd have to take care of a lot of them. Might just make a proper Far Harbor woman out of you. See, the fog can do a number on you. Get you all turned around. There's something in your brain. Trappers were mean to begin with, but now...
What was... Gotcha!
Let's count the ammo and see what's left. Here's the mountain trail. We stick to this. We grow everything extra mean on the island. Still got a ways to go. They usually stick to the deep fog. Best we steer clear. But you never know. When I was a young lad, no higher than your knee, whole island was covered in fog. The fog eventually rolled back. People resettled, but they got comfortable. Started taking things for granted. Folk got short memories. All this has happened before. We ain't alone here. Look sharp! Now you're realizing what a mistake you made. Gulper's got a fondness for fresh water. A small gulper, like the ones in these parts, is a fair challenge. Now the big ones, they can grow 2-3 times the size of a man. Good thing you don't see too many of them around. Something else.
They're here somewhere. Not exactly subtle, pal. All right.
stringing one more soul to their damnation, old man?
Well, what have we here? Another rad-worshipping lunatic, that's what.
Your barbs do not harm me. I am shielded by my faith.
How about bullets? Faith shield you against those, too?
Who's she?
One of them children of Adam preachers. Started off as pests. Now they're more like a menace.
Do not sully this one with your blasphemy, old man. You. I suggest you go no further. Acadia is a nest of snakes. Beasts that subvert the will of Adam.
What's Acadia done to make you distrust them?
They supply Far Harbor with the means to turn back Adam's holy fog. You'd do well to avoid such creatures, and instead seek the only true master of this land.
All right, I'm listening. Tell me about Adam.
Tell you? Look around. You stride through his kingdom. A land blanketed beneath sacred fog. A land Adam has claimed for his children. And you may join our family if he deems you worthy.
Worthy? What do I have to do to join?
There is a ritual his children must perform. If you succeed, you will be rewarded with entrance into our family.
Okay. Sign me up.
Excellent. Head to the nucleus. There, Adam's plans for you will be revealed.
If you're done wasting time with a fanatic, let's move on.
I hope you enjoyed that
Ahead,
song.
the air's clean. No fog.
Okay.
Acadia's not too far now.
Hey, everybody. Everybody who might be listening now. I guess I hope that's a lot of people, but regardless. So there's a story that I heard, which I will now share with you. It's a story about a little boy named Billy. Billy, I'm told, he was separated from his family. I don't quite know how that happened, and I guess it doesn't really matter. So this kid, Billy, I guess he wound up running into, the Vault Dweller. I don't know the details really, but thanks to the Vault Dweller,
Hi.
little Billy managed
Keep your
to
guard
find
up.
his parents again. I know that, well, it isn't always great out there in the world, so I thought you might like this story. Anyway, back to the music, I guess.
And we've arrived.
next
Acadia's
song
already
is,
been watching us for a good spell. They'll be
60
waiting
Minute
for
Man,
you.
and,
You need
oh
my
boy.
help again.
I just,
You come see me. Got a cabin just outside of Far Harbor. Good place to tool up your gear, get some rest, or get stinking drunk. Just make sure if you're bringing a bottle of something strong, there's enough to share.
You should come with me.
Oh, what's more
Hey.
sore? My back or my feet?
Nick,
Time to hit the road?
let's head out.
Well, all right.
Hey.
What's the plan?
You know, when I first climbed this mountain above the fog, I thought to myself, now here is a metaphor worth taking in. You've entered a place of clarity, understanding, peace. While you're here in Acadia, Synthkind welcomes you as long as you welcome us.
What are you?
I told you. I'm the old synth on the mountain. I know the plastic skin and tubes out the back can be unsettling, but I want to ask you to look past that. Tell me why you're here, and I'll try to help you.
Well, in that case, I want a Nuka-Cola, some stim packs, Kasumi Nakano returned to her family, and, a pony?
I see. I'm afraid some of those things I'm not in a position to give. Kasumi is here. She's safe and unharmed, and you're free to see her if you'd like. Before you do, though, tell me, do you think Kasumi is a synth?
We're not answering any more questions until you play straight with us. Just who the hell are you, really? There's only one synth with that kind of face and a mind of his own. And I only see him when I look in a mirror.
Nick? It can't be you.
Don't give me that. What are you trying to pull? I've never seen you before in my life.
Please, if you're willing to give me a chance, I can explain.
Is this a joke? Do you really know, Nick?
Let me tell you what I know, and you can judge for yourself. We were prototypes, Nick. The first synths capable of independent thinking and judgment.
Keep talking.
One of the Institute's experiments had to do with how our brains could process personality. If we could handle individualized feelings and behaviors, I was allowed to develop mine based on experience. But with you, they wanted to try transferring an entire personality into you. It took several attempts before the personality imprint worked. I saw you wake up not knowing who or what you were so many times. I couldn't let them do it to you anymore. We were the only two prototypes they made. I literally saw myself in you. You were my brother, Nick. I helped you escape the Institute. We left together.
If I were your brother, I'd remember.
That's where you'd be wrong. This happened over a century ago. There's only so much memory that can fit into the prototype brains we have.
Ah, I've heard enough. I think you and I need to talk about this. Maybe not now, though. Giving me the silent treatment, huh?
Is it really possible that you wouldn't remember any of this?
You mean between the Institute failsafes, the beatings I've taken over the years, and plain old age?
Or are you buying this whole "there's only so much room" of their argument? I don't know. It's not like we've got the instruction manual.
We'll talk later. This is a lot to take in.
Nick, I don't need you to believe me. I'm just glad to see you again. Whenever you're ready, I'll be here. Now, about young Kasumi. It's important that you understand exactly why she's here. I asked you before if you think she's really a synth. If you could indulge me with an answer.
Who or what she is isn't important.
But it is. It's everything. Imagine just looking at your own hands and having to wonder, was I born with these, or were they manufactured? None of us take this transition lightly. She's facing the possibility of her entire life being a lie, that someone stripped her very identity from her and made her into something she isn't. I want you to understand that before you see her. She has a chance here to... One more question, if you'll indulge me. Tell me, are...
I have to be honest, in the back of my mind, I've always suspected.
That's what I thought. If you don't mind, what's the first thing you can remember?
I remember being in my house the day the bombs fell. We ran to the vault. We were frozen. I was the only survivor.
No memories before then? Just a single day, and then waking up alone? We so easily accept what's presented to us as the truth, don't we? Isn't it funny how a memory can feel like a whole different reality? People, places, even sounds and colors can change. Or someone else has changed them. I won't lie to you. There will always be other explanations. Trauma, disease, the background radiation. They all take their toll on the mind. But I can promise you that we will accept you, no matter what you decide you are.
I've heard enough. Where is Kasumi Nakano?
Of course. Kasumi is usually working down below. You can see her whenever you like. Acadia is open to you. Feel free to walk the grounds. Introduce yourself to my co-founders, Faraday and Chase. Did you need anything else before you go?
Attacking Fort Strong. The fort was filled with super mutants. So that's fun.
I should get going.
Of course.
Perhaps over in there a long time. Are you feeling all right?
I'm fine. You worry too much.
Sometimes I feel like you don't worry enough. That was a joke.
Don't make him like me.
By the way, I'm totally kidding. Didn't really mean it. And if the Brotherhood is listening, I'm sure you're very nice. Relays this week. Please don't kill me. This is Civilization by, I'm coming in. You stay right there.
Hey there.
So, you've talked to Dima. You know why we're here. I certainly hope that you'll consider helping us. Dima's vision is worth fighting for.
You're right. It is a good cause. Synths definitely deserve to be safe, just like everyone else.
It's so good to hear that. Very encouraging. Please, make sure Dima knows that as well. He's put so much of himself into this. All his time and energy devoted to helping others. He never stops to think of himself. Sometimes I worry about, well, if I wasn't here to make sure his equipment is all functional. And that's not even mentioning maintaining the fog condensers. So many things to keep track of.
You do all this work yourself?
Mostly, yes. I get help from the others when I can, but no one else really understands Dima the way I do. Oh dear.
If there's anything I can do to help out, just let me know.
Well, if you're determined to help, there is something you could do. It's likely somewhat dangerous, though, so I understand if you'd rather not. There's a boat along the coast of the island. It was transporting some hardware we needed. Storage drives. My understanding is that the boat wrecked southwest of here. So, does this sound like something you could handle?
What happened to the boat?
The island is dangerous. So, will you find them?
Sure thing, Baird.
Thank you.
You track Kasumi here. I'm impressed. Perhaps not as quietly or efficiently as possible, but thankfully she was... I'm afraid your journey was unnecessary.
I'm not convinced she is safe.
By all means, look around. Investigate. We have nothing to hide. Acadia is a safe haven for synths. Were it not, I would not have aided anyone in reach. Every synth I've tracked down, every synth convinced to come here, has been assured that he or she... My job is to make sure they all remain safe, no matter what.
Sounds like a pretty thankless job.
I don't do it to be thanked. I do... You have Dima's blessing. So by... Tell me about Acadia. Dima's told you most of what you... It's as safe as we can make it for now. With every new synth we rescue, we're better...
So, what's your story?
I used to be a courser, returning synths that had escaped from the Institute. I was tracking a synth and instead found Dima. I rejected the Institute, made sure they couldn't track me, and dedicated my life to
I'd like to help you all. Is there anything I...
Actually, right. As a matter of fact, there is. If you're serious about contributing. You've had some experience traveling around the island, so you may be...
All right, I'm listening.
We were expecting a new synth to arrive. There's been no sign of him, and I'm concerned that he might have become lost on the way here.
I'll find out what I can.
You should start by talking to Brooks in Far Harbor. He's the one who meets the new arrivals and gets them started on the... Of course, he's not likely to tell you anything without... If he doesn't cooperate, tell him that his designation is L792. That's as much help as I can give you for now. So, I understand you've seen a good bit of our island. What do you think?
You're the one who lives here.
Well, I think it's all... This island, with all of its danger and beauty, predates you and I. The ecosystem isn't what it once was, but it has adapted, and it will continue to adapt, long after we're gone. And then, passing that knowledge along to those who will follow us.
That sounds like a noble goal.
Well, thank you. I wish more shared the sentiment. I should note that I'm not fully versed in human anatomy, but I'm your best chance of medical assistance should you require it. Since Dima has approved of you, I'm more than...
I'd like to help you.
Oh, well, okay.
Sure.
There's a flower native to this island, a species of the genus Aster. that has survived. It doesn't quite have the brilliance of color that I understand it once did. I'm personally rather fond of them, but lately have been investigating secondary chemical properties.
Right.
If you could bring me additional samples, I can offer you a meager amount of caps.
I have some flowers for you.
I'm sorry, is this a joke I'm not in on? If you do actually find it...
Sounds like you got the all clear. So what's your story?
I'm just taking a look around.
Sure you are. Just of your own accord, no particular reason. Nothing to do. That Kasumi's a good enough kid, I suppose. Little confused, maybe. But then, not that anyone's asking, but I'll tell you. It all gets easier to deal with when you realize none of it matters. What you are, where you came from, let go of all that, and life gets simple.
That sounds pretty bleak to me.
It's all in how you look at it. Anyway, lately I've taken to amusing myself with trading. Don't have much to work with, but I'm always happy to make. Let me know if you need something.
Let's see what you got.
You never know. I might actually...
That was, Winoni Harris. Time for some news, I guess.
Can I help you?
Sure, why not? So, there's that saying that sometimes truth is better. No. Better. Truth is stranger than fiction.
Need something?
No accounting for taste.
Well, you know the radio plays that I air sometimes?
I assume you're not planning on
Occasionally
staying
in the right
long.
order. You know the silver
That's a little
shroud.
rude, don't you think? Treat all your guests like this?
No. We don't have
really seriously.
guests. Acadia is only as secure as we make it. We take unnecessary risks. If there's a synth who needs a safe place, then we take them in.
Right.
That makes you an unnecessary. It's nothing personal. Minimize.
You can relax. I'm not a threat.
Just don't cause any trouble.
I guess this silver shroud is like cleaning up the town or something. So now there's a superhero out there defending justice, I guess. Or at least killing people that hopefully deserve it. Up next, well, it's Ella Fitzgerald.
Acadia's far away enough from the Institute that we don't have to worry, right?
If it's giving you trouble, I could...
Sweet.
Give that terminal a look.
Circuitry is completely fried. Maybe if I reroute the sensors?
Kasumi Nakano?
Sorry, I'm right in the middle of something.
What's that you're working on?
Just trying to cobble some pre-war junk into something usable. Now, do you mind telling me what you're doing here?
I'm a detective. I was hired to find you.
You're a what? You came all this way... for me? Look, my mom and dad... I mean, those people that were taking care of me, they wouldn't want me back. Not if they knew the truth.
What do you mean?
I'm not their daughter. I'm a synth. I thought if I just left, it would be easier for them. How would that conversation have gone anyway? I've been lying to you this whole time? Your real daughter is dead and I replaced her? You're not saying anything.
You haven't replaced anyone.
Look, I get it. They hired you to bring... Acadia isn't what I thought it was. I can't leave until I've gotten to the bottom of it. I've been running for long enough.
Fine. It's your...
Thank you. Now, wait. Wait, you find things, track down answers. That's what you do, right?
Right.
What if I told you that there's a secret? A big secret here.
All right. I'm listening.
Okay. Where to begin? You saw all those computers that Dima's hooked up to, right? They hold his memories, or offload data from his brain. Or maybe some combination of both? Well, Faraday asked me to help do some repairs on them. And, you know, I got curious. There's like a century's worth of life experiences in there. And that's when I see it. Data models Dima has been making. One was the fog taking over Far Harbor. Another was a nuclear detonation on the island. Plus, death counts. What if Dima is so open and welcoming because he's actually hiding something from us? A plan to wipe out the rest of the island.
You don't trust Dima? After you came all this way for him?
I didn't come to Acadia for him. I came here because this place offered answers. And now that I found a place I belong, I'd rather not lose it all if Dima is secretly planning to destroy everything.
I'll help if I can, but that's not much to go on.
I know. I've been working on that, but I haven't had much luck. I keep seeing Dima, Faraday, and Chase head into the laboratory at the other end of the hall. Then they come out later looking like they've been arguing. There's actually a storage space right next to there. It'd be a perfect spot to hide and eavesdrop, but it's been locked up. I've also tried breaking into Faraday's terminal, since he and Dima are so close, but the security on it is crazy.
Step aside and let the master hacker show you how it's done.
If you're sure. Good luck. Once you have something...
Uh-huh.
The detective's life isn't an easy one, but it rarely lacks for excitement.
There we go.
turns out Dima's earliest memories are in the hands of the children of Adam. He's afraid of what they're going to find.
So, is that what those death projections were about? It wasn't Dima planning to destroy the island. He's worried the children of Adam will. Or is he still hiding something? What could be in those memories that he would leave them behind? Do you have a way in? Into his memories?
I got this program that Faraday and Dima wrote.
Really? How would that work? When I was taking a peek in the computers he has here, Dima was hooked up to his chair. I was just tapping into it. I wonder if you'll need to, connect to the old banks the way he does? I'll bet that's it. And then Faraday's program would be translating Dima's thoughts and data, helping you through any security... I'm sorry, I'm making assumptions. It's just... Well, it's a little exciting, isn't it? You'll let me know what you find? I'll keep an eye on things here.
I'll get Dima's memories, and then we'll figure out things from there.
Good luck.